with the Just Prima show. It is 8:15. Is my phone on? Yes, it is going. Tonight I'm not doing official. I am just literally talking from my heart. I got on tonight briefly to talk about mental health in families. I got on also to talk about reentry, mental health programs and reentry programs. Mental health, there are a lot of families, and particularly families of color, that I'm speaking of right now because I am a woman of color. Um, I like people's opinions and information, resources, input on mental health. As people of color, a lot of times we don't want to discuss mental health issues. We don't want to admit that there are mental health issues in our families, be it with our parents, with our spouses, with our children, with our siblings. I have been around people with mental health issues that probably have not been diagnosed, or that have not been diagnosed. Parents and family members know when something's not right. We just don't always admit it. We don't always, want to act like we want to ignore situations. People of lighter persuasion, they, in my experiences of lighter persuasion, do believe in mental health services. They have the resources, they're aware of the resources. They use those resources early in age, and a lot of them have the money to help their children or their loved ones. And even when they may not need as much, they believe in mental health and mental health resources. So they start there early, where people of color a lot of times are in denial or embarrassed. For me, like I've said before in my previous episodes, that I have experienced a lot of things in life, um, a lot of people in life, a lot of situations in life, a lot of laughter, a lot of heartache and pain, a lot of disappointment, a lot of ups and downs. Um, and right now I'm getting on really because, again, I'm interested in resources and information, help, um, stories that can help me or that resonate with others dealing with mental health, dealing with, as a parent, as a loved one, as a sibling, as a child, feeling helpless because you don't necessarily know which way to go, what direction to go in, or what resources are available. You now living in metropolitan Atlanta, the police are not always the safest people. The street is not the safest place. And when you have people with mental health issues, how do you deal with it and how do you help them? Also, I would like to talk about reentry programs. And when I say reentry programs, I'm saying reentry into society. I have, again, family members and associates being reentry from the military, reentry from prison, that they do not have the proper um, the skills, the know-how to come back into regular society, what we call normal, and be able to function and be productive citizens. Um, and for me, I know a lot of people, but that is something that I am not as versed in. I'm not as equipped in. I don't have the resources. I don't have the skills, and I would like to. So I'm trying to do my research just this week on facilities and places, be it housing, medication, be it job placement, be it group counseling. Yeah, because this is something different for me. Of course, I have a heart to help people, want to help people. And because these are people that are close to me, uh, it's very heartbreaking. And again, it makes me and other people around me feel helpless. Not hopeless, but helpless. Because when you're used to being able to fix things, you're used to being able to give advice, you're used to being able to point people in a certain direction. What do you do when people don't have the money, they don't have the insurance? There are not many resources out here that we are aware of. If you have been in the military, if you have been incarcerated, or if you're just the average Joe, because right now I'm speaking on all of that. So I simply got on to speak about that because those are issues that have been prevalent in my circle for about the past month, and I am at my wits end, and I am asking for help. Again, help, information, resources, um, that can help with people with mental illness issues, or people with reentry issues back into what we call normal society. There are lots of mothers and fathers and spouses and children that would love to help and love their loved ones, but really don't know how to reach them and really don't know what's available. There are some that are afraid. There are some that, when you're mentally ill, you stand the chance of being incarcerated, you stand the chance of being in someone's grave, you stand the chance of being hurt. And there are lots of family members out here that don't want to see that happen um, in their family. They don't want their loved ones to feel thrown away, including myself. Um, Here in the Atlanta area, Metro Atlanta area, we have programs at Grady Hospital, and we have programs at Georgia Regional. But because it's big money to be made in the Georgia Department of Corrections, as well as the mental wards in the particular hospitals or particular hospitals or treatment centers that I mentioned, that are not as caring, empathetic, or considerate as the ones that you're paying the big dollars for. Of course, we can say pray, and we can say trust God, and God to make a way. We spend a lot of money here in the United States, and this might step on a few toes, and I don't care at this point. But we spend a lot of money on things that are not as important. We spend a lot of money on sports and entertainment. Um, we spend a lot of money on cars and big houses that we'll never use all of the house. To say that we do and we have and we go places, but not really understanding that if you don't deal with certain people and certain issues by being proactive or stepping in when you see that there's an issue, you'll deal with them in a different way later. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are released from the military as well as prison that, depending on their charges, they are not allowed. We're going to speak on sex offenders. They're not allowed to be by schools and playgrounds and churches. Schools, playgrounds, churches, yeah. Anywhere where children may be, they're not allowed. Um, Today is Wednesday, and I felt like I wanted to go to the water, to the river. And the places that I like to go are kind of tucked off in the woods, and they're not out where everybody can see me. And we had this conversation a while back that, hey, you don't need to be out in the woods by yourself, because a lot of people live in the woods that don't have anywhere else to live, or live out in the sticks, so to speak. When I was in my 20s, I would go out in the woods by myself, to the water, to the rocks, because I needed to ground myself and I needed to get myself together. However, this is not the world and the society that we live in right now. So it wasn't the wisest thing for me to do. So I have not gone in a few weeks. Um, I do have a heart of compassion and empathy for those that don't have the basic necessities like shelter, food, clothing, water, running water, um, and the ability to maintain and be self-sufficient and independent. Like, because certain things have happened in life, people don't always um, allow people of different backgrounds the opportunity to be independent and self-sufficient. So, um, I do intend on doing something for offenders only within the before 2023 is over. So hold me accountable, please. I'm going to do my research because there are some things that's on my heart where I do want to help only offenders, meaning people with criminal backgrounds. If you don't have a criminal background, I don't want to help you. Only people with criminal backgrounds, help them with housing, help them with transportation, help them with employment, help them with counseling services. And there are a lot of people out here with a lot of money that I pray invest in my vision and my dream for those people. I was born military, and I think my dad, well, I know my dad had PTSD and needed a lot more help than he received. And I have other family members that are ex-military. My mom was ex-military. I didn't see as much in her, but there are people that are out here that really need help, and there's not a lot of people out here helping, or it's not being made known, or it's not taking as serious as it should be. There are innocent people out here being hurt. There are innocent people out here that are afraid. There are innocent people out here that are dying because people are mentally unstable. And it's not their fault that they're mentally unstable. They don't get the treatment, the medication, the counseling, and or the recognition that's needed to help them be better people. So again, that really was my reason for coming on tonight. Um, I didn't get on Facebook tonight. I just came on strictly from my heart to talk about the things that I'm experiencing and people around me are experiencing right now. That's laying heavy on my heart. I am a parent. I am a mother, I am a sister, I am a niece, I am a cousin, I am an aunt, I am a friend, and I'm an associate, I'm a neighbor, and there are a lot of people that are around me that are dealing with mental health issues, including people in my family that I would love to help and love to find resources. And this is very immediate, like immediate need. So please reach out, leave any comments, questions. You can email me at I am JUSTPRIMA at Gmail. I'm just prima at gmail.com. Any resources, any phone numbers, any help for people that are ex-military besides the VA, or if you know a direct number to the VA, for people that are regular everyday people, and also for people that are out of prison, home from prison, or home from jail. Any resources are welcomed, appreciated, um, so that hopefully the world is a better place, that we become more, um, more humane and not so selfish, like, oh, if it ain't in my house, if it ain't nobody I know, then it ain't, it's not important to me. But again, if you don't, become proactive and you don't, remember that it may not be you today and it may not be your family right now, but you will encounter these people one way or another, in a good way or a not so good way. If we don't remember that it's just by the grace and mercy of something greater than ourselves, God, the universe, that it's not us and it's not our family, it's not our children, it's not our immediate family, it's not our dads, it's not our moms, and it's not our spouses. So hopefully people take that into consideration when you see my message, when you watch this video. Be thankful that we're quote unquote normal. Be thankful that we have coping skills and anger management skills, that we know how to, work through conflict and conflict resolution, because everybody does not have those skills. Arrested development is real. A lot of times things happen to us at a young age that keep us stuck. The stress and the trauma that happen in life, although we're a certain age, does not necessarily mean that we're mature. There are a lot of people that they want to be grown, but they don't know how to, because things have happened in life and they just stop there. And again, in our community, unfortunately, our community, meaning people of color, people that I have encountered, we don't really like to deal with the truth. We say we ready to deal with the truth, and we say we want to know the truth, but we really don't. Just like I spoke on my episode about, sexual indiscretions, molestation, divorce, abuse, verbal abuse that people experience, physical abuse that I did not experience. And when we just sweep those things under the rug, it is perpetuating. It can get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and generation after generation after generation. But a dangerous thing is mental health, and I am seeing that more and more this particular year. And again, you don't want people with mental illness to hurt themselves. Neither do you want them to hurt people around them. Those people with mental illness still have family members, a lot of them, that love them, that they don't know where they are, that love them, that don't want them buried, don't want them incarcerated, and really just don't know how to help them. So again, I pray that I get responses from this. And when I do start my LLC for offenders, I pray that the donations flow. My second season of Just Prima, JUSTPR1MA, should be starting in November. That is my intent. On Wednesdays at 8 p.m. If anything changes, I will let you know. And I am planning my intent. So pray with me, positive vibes. If you don't have them, that's okay. Keep them. Is to start my Candid Co-Ed Conversation podcast. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, but on Friday night. I'm trying to decide what time, like we had on my last episode, my finale, my season finale for season 1. Conversations with guys and girls about things that are kind of controversial, things that are relevant, things that go on now that guys and girls don't necessarily agree on. And it doesn't mean that all girls are going to agree on the same thing. And it doesn't mean that all guys are going to agree on the same thing. I don't think I repeated myself. But anyway, just because we're of the same sex don't mean we have the same perspective. So I am really looking forward to that. And again, any questions, any feedback, any comment, I welcome it. I appreciate it, good, bad, and indifferent. I also would like feedback on my first season, on each episode. If there's topics that you want to see me discuss further, you want me to discuss more, I will have guests on to talk about certain topics. So again, if there's topics that you want to hear be discussed further, or you would like to be a part of that discussion, then please go back to my first season and watch episode 1 through 14. Take notes, write comments, comments about what you liked, what could have improved. It was my first season, so I was nervous. I was learning. I'm being my original, authentic self, so I'm happy about that. But I intend on getting better. And again, any topics, any thing that you would like discussed more, anything that you have some questions about that would be, interesting to more than just you, not to be messy, not to be nosy, but that's helpful, because I know that my purpose is to encourage, empower, inspire, and
I am able to do that through transparency and honesty and being my authentic prima self. I'm not doing this for views. I'm doing it really to impact people's lives, and I'm being obedient to what God, the universe, Mother, Father, God is inspiring me to do. I don't have all the answers. I don't have it all together, but I do have a good heart, and I am inspired to be obedient to my true self and have the good of all and best interest for everyone that's watching is, at the top of my list. So thank you again for watching. Thank you for tuning in. This is definitely impromptu. Like I said, it is me being obedient to how I'm being led. It is, topics that have come up for me recently. And I am not going to hold you. So I will check back in later on tonight and as the week progresses to see what comments so I can comment later. I will be looking for those resources and checking those resources out. Please be safe. Please treat each other like you want to be treated. Believe that karma is real. What you put out, you have to get back. None of us are exempt. And you won't always get it back like you dish it out. Watch your purses. Watch your wife. Watch your kids. Watch your guns because they coming up missing. Be thankful every day. Thankful for the blessings. Thankful for the bumps in the road. Thankful for the breath. Learn how to be grateful and thankful and not hold grudges and release things that serve us no purpose, release things that mean us no good, but the things that we take for granted, and be humane. And remember, it could be us. And again, it's just by the grace and mercy. So with that, be true to you. I appreciate you. I love you. And I am out. Just Prima is out. Thank you.